We first thought of the laptop sections for English 110 over the end of last spring quarter 2010, when we started to think about space. As you know, Ohio State University is in the midst of a big conversion from quarters to semesters, and I'm currently sitting on the university committee that is looking at space. So our job is to imagine, how do you use your existing classroom space? You have a very a landscape that has changed significantly over the years when it comes to student computing. You know, it used to be that when students came to college, in order to get access to computers and technology, they depended on the university to provide that for them. We're seeing statistics now that over 90% of students are coming to campus with some kind of computer, and many of those students are coming to campus with a laptop computer.
The challenges I faced in the first few weeks were entirely my fault and a lack of planning. So, for instance, I didn't know that you had to hit FN, F8 in order to communicate between the machine and the projector. So the first day of class, I had everything on the internet. I had a Google presentation. I hadn't even printed off a roster because I was just going to access it, you know, on my laptop, and I couldn't get it to project. So I had to borrow a student's laptop to do the first class presentation. I had to have the students tell me their name, and I then wrote it down. So it was just like incredibly low-tech way of taking attendance.
I find it interesting and challenging, and there are certain aspects of it that I really enjoy and certain aspects that I'm not as keen on. I really like the way that I constructed the classes. I have everything online, you know, I don't have to worry about paper. I think that that's all pretty awesome. I can do exercises that I wouldn't normally be able to do in the way that I do them. But it does pose a challenge as far as attention. You that sit together and they'll kind of elbow one another, and the other one will look at their friend's laptop, and then they do the silent laugh where, you know, I don't hear anything, but I can see them going.
I think this is why I think I'm going to sound naive. Like, as if someone were to videotape what they were actually doing, it would probably like undermine what I'm about to say. But I think in a way, having the laptop there has made them less inclined to, like, say, fiddle with their cell phones or something like that. And so, I mean, I'm sure they're like checking Facebook and they're chatting while we're talking and all this stuff. But it's like, I haven't seen anyone sleeping or with their cell phone, which are the two main culprits in a traditional setting.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Yeah. I do use Carmen in a little more. I give it kind of a more central role in terms of like distributing material for in-class activities, whereas in the past it was always a way to communicate with students outside of class. I've used it a lot more as a way to communicate in class.
Wiki text for rhetoric and composition, and so I have that link on the main page. I have the Google Docs on the main page, any articles that we're reading. I've linked through the blog. I've created pages for reading questions. Instead of doing like a full page response or something like that, they're to post 2 to 3 questions related to the reading for the day, and so on each of those pages I have listed like the link to the wiki text plus the link to if it's a blog post or something like that. So they're always able to access and from a couple of different places.
The Audacity assignment, it was an attempt to get the students brainstorming about our course topic, which is the American Jeremiad, out loud. So thinking out loud was how I pitched it. I think we should be, yes. Just in terms of like the composition process, I think that it allows us to think about it in different ways other than opening a Word document.
I don't know about any kind of grand claims I can make about the future, but I think that like if someone is inclined to work this way, there are advantages.
What does it mean to teach first-year writing in a laptop section?